Hello from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. It is in fact Groundhog Day, both from a calendar standpoint and making the movie reference, because we're still just mired in the same old thing and every day starts to look similar. This whole MAGA thing and its really strange mutation that's going on in Florida right now, what amazes me about that is the brazenness of it. They don't even try to hide it anymore. This is rooted exclusively in white supremacy and white nationalism and white racism. And they don't even try to hide it. This is America? Sadly, many would say that it is. And part of our Groundhog Day syndrome here is that we're in total denial. Same old thing. Once again, we bury a young black man whose life has been taken by police brutality, and we deny it. And we think it's somehow going to change by itself. And this is how we deflect it every time we have one of these incidents. And you'd have to admit that it happens pretty often and pretty regularly. The thing that we tell ourselves as we go to lunch or spin class is 99% of cops are wonderful people and great public servants. That's completely true. I believe every word of that, and I love our good cops. But that's not the issue. The percentage of good cops versus bad cops is not the issue. It's deflection, it's denial, it's Groundhog Day. We can argue about percentages, but the truth of the matter is there are a bad cop, or there are some bad cops, or a cadre of bad cops in virtually all of our law enforcement agencies. And it also pervades our criminal justice system as well. We have two different systems, one for white people and another for everybody else. And you can't deny that, and we can't address it until we acknowledge it. And we think it's going to change, and we tell ourselves it's okay because most cops are great public servants. I would hope so. Wouldn't that be the idea? But even if it's a small percentage, if there is an element of bad cops in every law enforcement agency, that's the issue. And with apologies to Donny Osmond, here's a case where one bad apple does in fact spoil the whole bunch. We are what we tolerate, and we can't tolerate this any longer. A couple of sports notes. So Little Abner confirms yesterday that Mike McCarthy is going to call offensive plays next year, and my reaction to that is fine. Show me what you got, big boy, and quit passing the buck. A couple of things about Brady and his retirement. I didn't hold it against him at all last year when he came out of retirement. That's what he wanted to do, okay? And whatever issue there was in his family with his now ex-wife is none of my business, and it's none of your business. Ultimately, it's what he wanted to do. He wanted to come back and play football. It was clear yesterday that he's done with it. That struck me as very sincere and eloquent even. And he doesn't owe me anything, and he doesn't owe you anything. I do find it surprising that Brady became such a polarizing figure. Well, maybe not surprising, because that's just what we do in America. We build people up just so that we can tear them down. But let's get this straight. There can be no debate that was the greatest quarterback that has ever played that sport. I don't need to give you the stats. I don't need to make a case for him. It is absolutely obvious and undeniable. He was, in fact, the GOAT. Not perfect at all, but by all accounts, a really good teammate for 23 years. And he made a lot, he got a lot out of the sport, but he made a lot of sacrifices, including the way he took care of his body into his 40s, including the sacrifices he made in lifestyle, including the physical sacrifices that he made. And I do find him inspiring in this way. I will have to admit that I had a snack last night that was a little later than I should have. And it's not good for me. Okay? Tom Brady would not have done that. Ultimately, in this case at least, I lacked the discipline that Tom Brady never lacked. Tom Brady, the GOAT, no question about it, the greatest of all time. We are radically rational.